AITAH, for telling my dad and half-siblings I won't keep my maternal family away because my half-siblings' feelings are hurt by them not accepting them as their family? Let's get the background out of the way. My mom died when I, 20 meters, was 8 months old. My dad married my stepmom when I was 2.5. My maternal family were heavily involved in my life. My maternal grandparents babysat me once or twice a week and continued doing so after my dad remarried. My maternal aunts and uncles would come over at least one of those days with my cousins, and we'd do stuff as a family. When I was 3.5, my half-sister was born. A few weeks before my half-sister was born, the relationship between my dad, stepmom, and my maternal relatives broke down because my maternal relatives weren't going to be my half-sister or any future half-sibling, grandparents and aunts, uncles. My dad and stepmom tried to keep them out of my life. My grandparents suggested they would see them in court. My dad got a lawyer, and he was told he would lose unless he worked out a plan for me to see them. Then my paternal grandmother told my dad that if he took mom's family away from me over this, and I found out later down the line, I would probably never forgive him or my stepmom. My dad decided to return things to normal, and my stepmom hated it but accepted it eventually. I would go to my grandparents once or twice a week for babysitting. I would spend the rest of my time at home with my family. I saw my paternal family and stepmom's family regularly. My maternal family were somewhat outside things. They would come to my birthdays and my graduation, but they weren't involved in my half-siblings. I now have 3 half-siblings' lives. My stepmom and I had a good relationship. I found out a year and a half ago, thanks to Dad, that she believed the reason I call her a nickname instead of Mom is because of my maternal family, and that she blames them for me never having the moment where I slip up and call her Mom. She was always the nickname to me. I always knew about my mom and who she was and that she died when I was a baby. Because she never said anything to me, I never made it a big deal, but my dad tried to when he brought it up. I no longer live at home, and for a while I lived with my maternal grandparents. Now I live with my girlfriend. This year we hosted Thanksgiving for our families, and my half-siblings told me like a week before that they didn't want to come if my maternal family would be there. They told me it sucked being unwanted by people they heard about regularly and saw pretty often, because they were so present for me. My half-sister told me that if I was a real brother to them, that I would stand by them and tell my maternal family to get lost because they need to accept my sibling or they don't get to be in my life. I told her that wasn't going to happen. She called Dad and he came over and asked what was going on. They explained it to him and he told me they were right and he had been disappointed. I never expressed any disappointment in my maternal family excluding my siblings like that. He told me it would have been the kindest thing for them to do and the best example to me. He said, instead of doing that, they made it so I had more family than my half-siblings and that I was pitted against everyone in the house. I got mad and told him I was not going to stand there and let him disrespect my family, and then I made it clear I won't keep my maternal family away from things. I said if they didn't want to be there, then fine. They don't have to be there and I won't force them. My dad called me a monster for doing that to my siblings. He said I should care about their feelings more than that. My half-siblings left upset and mad at me for not taking their side.